If you're looking for professional day trading education and high level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell, and I am here to give you exactly that. So, tonight we are going to be going over two specific trades. We're going to go over my second trade first and then my first trade last, because the first trade, that's the one that I spent most focus on, and that's where you are going to learn the most this evening. So, I hope you all had an amazing day. Give me one quick second. I am going to fire up my charts. Let's do this. Okay, guys. So, beautiful day in the market. Tuesday, August 26th. We're going to be going over, like I said, the second trade that I took here first. So, what I want to point out to you guys that may be new to the channel, I do this every single episode. Uh, these blue levels are struck prior to the market open. This is where I design my trade plans every morning at 9 a.m. So then I'm prepared coming into the market open. These trades are they're already designed. So there's nothing ever taken off, flying off the seat of my pants. There's always preparation involved. That's kind of step number one to being a professional. That preparation. There's a lot of people that take no time in preparing, and that is not what we want at all. So give me one sec. I need to do something here. There we go. Hey, folks. Okay, so let's go over this trade now that you guys know that these levels are struck. So, an interesting morning. The first thing I want to get your attention to is over here in the top left and bottom left areas of these charts. These are the daily charts. Now, what we have here is a really nice flat top trend. Okay. So we still have a lot of time left. I went over this yesterday before we get to the apex of that trend. And same here on Qs. So what I'm looking for, I'm leaning more so towards a short because it's not ready yet. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't break out, but that is what I'm going to lean towards. That doesn't mean I won't go long, which we did on SPY. SPY was interesting though. With SPY, and I'm going to zoom right in and stretch this out on the daily chart so that you can really see. We had the 9 EMA and the 5 EMA down below. There's support there. We also opened just below the previous close. So what happens, and I'll erase that just so then we're nice and clean and clear. We opened, we came down, we held the 5 EMA. It then pushed up and it got over the previous close. Testing resistance, it failed resistance. It will then pull to test support. I call this a remount. It's just obviously a lot faster and a lot easier to call it a remount than that whole word salad. So as it came down into this, I had already locked in a fair bit of cash on Qs. So I was willing to start in on a secondary trade opportunity, looking for a potential move higher. Now, it was a small position. It wasn't a large position because, again, like I said earlier, I'm looking more so for the short. I will always take the long if it sets up. Okay, that's strategy. That's rule number fucking one. Strategy is strategy. So on this here, I start in and I risk off of lows. That is my first entry here. This blue triangle that you see on this chart is my entry to go long as it pulls into support. Then I'm very patient. You can see I'm very patient with my secondary entry. I'm not just blasting away add. No, I am waiting for the perfect add right back down into support. I want to correct my average because, again, I don't have the odds of this working are a lot lower than the short. So I don't want a bunch of size in this, and I'm waiting for the right entries. So clean this up, enter in here. It comes down into morning lows. I add. As it comes up, I am still slightly red as it comes and retraces. The premium was actually a little funky on SPY. So as it comes up, I should have been green. I wasn't. That's my first sell. My first sell, I was actually red on it, but I needed to strip that size out. That's a rule. As we come back into the first area that it can reject, because it failed that level. It is proving to be weaker than expected. I have to pay myself. I have to. I don't want to. I want to take money out when I'm green on the position, but you have to do that. This is how you protect yourself for failures. Okay. So as it comes up, I start taking size off. My first sell here is actually I am red. And then as it starts coming up, I am paying myself. You can see more and more. And I'm actually green on the position, and I'm nicely green. Now I'm going to hold this, and I'm also working cues, which we will go over in detail here in a minute. So my focus more so is on this chart. Okay. So on this, as it's coming down, I want to give it until it actually breaks to take me out. So it takes me out, I stop out the rest, and I end up negative $906 on it, which I'm fine with because I'd already locked in thousands of dollars on cues. So now let's talk about cues. This is the main lesson for today because we're going to talk about tight ranges and moving averages. Okay. This requires a lot of focus. What I'm about to go over isn't necessarily for a brand new trader. You're not going to be able to implement what I'm about to say. Okay. So this is a lesson for today to get you prepared for the future or tomorrow, however you want to say it. So on this here, let me go over this trade. So let me get my entries. There were multiple trades taken, and it happened fairly quick. Market opens here. You see that red wick? It's kind of hard to see. You might not be able to see it on screen share here, but it popped up directly into the previous close. It actually hit moving averages in there first. The trade plan on this one was to go short into any green candle on the way up. Now, let me explain why I would make that part of my trade plan. So I got to really stretch this chart out so then you can see. You see all these moving averages down here? These moving averages are walls. They're basically physical brick walls of resistance. The 20 SMA was there. The 5 EMA was there, followed by the previous close here, and followed by the 9 EMA here. Do you see how many walls of resistance there were on the way up? So that's why on any, any, on any green candle up, I'm taking the trade short because I'm so protected in that trade. The odds of a first test going something like this and just blasting north, very slim, extremely slim. It can happen, but it's slim chance. Okay. So when I know that, I am going to start in on that. Let me fix the chart again. Actually, I'm going to clean this up first. Sorry about that, guys. And then I'm going to stretch this back out. Okay. So first trade was taken here on the push up. Multiple entries on the way up as I'm hitting resistance. I always enter into resistance levels. Okay. So if there's multiples, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to enter. That is the first set of entries that you see right here. You see the blue followed by the red. So I enter, it pulls back into support, which was, I believe that was the 5 EMA it came down into. So I paid myself. I have to. I still follow the same rules upon profit taking as well as entering. When I hit support or resistance, if I'm in the position, I have to pay myself. This is how and what keeps you safe as a day trader. This is what I talk about when I'm talking about trading professionally. You have to. Those are the rules. Rules keep you safe and rules keep you consistent and rules keep you profitable for your entire duration of your career. So, paid myself, then it pops back up, and I'm going to clean this up and zoom in on the 1 minute chart now so then you can really see this. Okay. So you see the first candle here is red, pops up, pulls back. I made money on that. As it pops up again, so this big, long green candle up, it basically came right back up into that previous close. As it's coming up into those resistance levels, 20 SMA, 5 EMA, and previous close, I enter. Now it wants to keep going. That's okay. The 9 EMA, I'm still protected in. So I add into that 9 EMA. Now I'm waiting for something to give me true signs of confirmation. So I paid myself on this red candle right there. I took off a little bit. I paid myself. Okay. As it slammed down, I know it doesn't look like much on the stock chart, guys, but when you're trading options, it is because they're percentage based gains. So it's big. This little itty bitty trade from here to here is probably about a 10 to 15% move. I'm going to fucking pay myself there, right? You'd be a fool not to. So I paid myself a little bit and I'm still looking for the one chance that I get because every single play, mark my words. And people think that this doesn't happen all the time or maybe they don't believe it. I don't know what it is. But mark my words. On every proper trade, you will be given one opportunity that chart, the stock market is talking to you. It is telling you that is your opportunity. And that's where I use pressure. I talk about this a lot, especially in my service. This is just learning how to speak and read a rare language. That's all it is. This isn't a language that everybody knows. This isn't English or French or Spanish, right? This is something else. This is like Mandarin in the West, right? Not a lot of people speak Mandarin, right? Not in the West. It's a rare or special language. You understand what I'm getting at? So it does. This candle opens up, it pops, and immediately could not go higher and break those highs. That's telling me a story. Okay. Every candle tells a story. That is the rejection. That's telling me it does not have the fucking jam to push higher. That is my opportunity right there. Not to mention, it's right back into resistance. I trade into resistance, I execute into resistance or into support. I don't wait for the level to perfectly touch. That's why you see these entries and these exits are like bang, they're on pushes, right? So enter into that. I pressure in on that trade, and then I simply just make my money all the way back down. Locked in a beautiful trade on that. Now, what you're going to see is no more executions, no more entries. Why? Because it is tested multiple times. Okay. Multiple times it has tested. If it comes back up into this level, the odds with so many people that are now in short into all of these walls of protection, it's like this. It's like a physical big brick, dirty brick wall right there. Okay. If it comes any higher than that, retail traders, because 99.9% of all retail traders are fucking morons that don't have any type of plan whatsoever, they will stop out immediately and they will freak out because they, number one, don't have a plan. Number two, don't have their emotions under control. It's a problem. So I want to preserve the profits that I've already made. I've made a lot of money. I don't want to give that back. If you can make thousands of dollars within the first 5-10 minutes of the day, why would you ever risk that? If you do, you're a gambler. That is something I am not. I respect money and I also respect my family and my family's well being and safety. I would never put them at risk because it's not just me. It's not just the account or my bank account or my money at risk. It's my family at risk. And I made a deal with myself 11 years ago to never do that, to never do that. Okay. These are deals that you need to make with yourself. And if you're a type of person that would never break your word to another man or another woman, you'll live and die by your word, right? Then why is it so easy for fucking traders to break their word with themselves? It's about self-respect and it's about having honor and integrity. People may not see it like that, but these are contracts that we make with ourselves when we enter into these trades. It is a business agreement that you will enter into that trade and you will follow your trade plan and you will be a professional at all times, just like any any business plan out there or any business agreement out there. There is a business plan and there is a contract and there are agreements and there are rules. There's no different. Treat it like a business. You've heard that saying and that cliche statement a million times. So start living by it, and you'll start seeing some beautiful trash. That's nice. You'll start seeing some beautiful trades come in. Okay. So that is on the trade. And then as I'm still holding not many at that time, now I'm hitting my main target down here below. Absolutely fantastic. So you're going to see my final exit. I was exiting out. I fat fingered and I bought. I had 17 contracts left. I already went over this with all the members as soon as it happened. And I pulled in my chart so that they could see that there was a buy instead of a sell. There were 17 contracts. I hit sell to sell them all because I was stopping out and I ended up buying them all. So it went up to 34. Then I got fully out, 34 out, and that was out. That was the trade. So locking in $6,212 on that. So absolutely a beautiful day. Again, these entry charts I have in Tricktrades, and I could pull this up for you very, very quickly because I do want to share this with you. One sec as it loads. So as I pull this in, I post every single trade entry I have ever taken. And this is for your benefit. It's not for mine. It's so that you can go through and take a look at every single day. This stuff gets taken and you can cross reference. It's about number one, transparency, but number two, it's about checking your entries against mine. The trade entry channel is something that I think is very important. Every single trade entry I take, it goes in there, it gets logged. So, on that note, if you want to learn how to become a professional trader and work with a coach that can teach you how to get there and how to do it, come to tricktrades.com. If not, and you want to be like Mr. Justin Brown there and just comment nonsense and just trash, which means absolutely nothing to a guy that is living a one percenter life in the mountains of Costa Rica. Well, I've got hundreds of acres that I own. As far as I can see, I own, and a beautiful, loving wife and family. I win, man. That's all I got to say. So if you want to work with someone that can get you there, come to tricktrades.com. If not, you want to enjoy the free stuff, that's cool. That's why it's there. Just remember, it's going to take you a whole hell of a lot longer because you're going to have to piece these puzzle pieces together on your own. Okay, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good job today, guys. Adios.